All right, so a pleasant good evening, friends, family, well wishers. First edition of Richard Rants with my new mouth. Still getting accustomed to it, still in the healing phases. It'll take 10 days. Still, no weed, no hemp, no rum. But I'm still fun. It's an adventure. But enough about me. These are the random thoughts from three newspapers. I did not look at the dates of those papers, but none of them are old, so fairly recent. So, in random order and without further ado, here we go. It has come to my attention that one of the accused in the recent most popular kidnapping, Andrea Barrett, was nothing more than a young black entrepreneur. Was a guy with passive income, living my dream, in other words. He had a car that he put on the road that they used to kidnap the young lady, and the police hold him because he was the owner of the car, and now he's dead. He saw his last Christmas, he saw his last Carnival year before. He saw his last New Year's. He has children, he has dogs, and he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Because that's how the police just question you. I guess that's what it is teach you in police question in school. I don't know. But he's dead. He's dead. So a young lady getting pappy show because she dared to do the correct thing. Her dad was also in the papers today, and he was talking about how he's surprised that all of a sudden he has a voice because he was never one for the limelight, never one for the spotlight. He's a car electrician, and he said he just keeps himself busy. But when the sun goes down, he becomes a different person, and not in a good way. I assume that that's when he gets loneliest. He was actually fixing his daughter's car at the time of the interview, which she hardly used to drive. He was probably fixing it with contempt because maybe she was driving it. May she rest in peace. But the point is, she got killed for doing the right thing, exposing the corruption. By the way, Sean Luke case still, the DNA evidence and all of that still pending. And everybody pappy showing it from the government to OWTU to other trade unions to um, who else? The church as crime against. It had nothing to do with crime against women. Even Nicole Dyer Griffith is going to have a boot camp, women for self-defense. When it is we need to focus on the legal system, the same legal system that a police officer could simply not show up. And that's it. We have a case going on for 9 years. That means that before many of you that reading this voice note even start to get here in special places, this case was going on. This woman lost her husband, lost the man that she thought she was going to spend the rest of her life. She lost the person she thought she was going to grow old with, the father of her children. in a police-related traffic incident. In other words, this man was he went out to buy a bread and never come back because of some shit that the police do, And he just never show up to court. So the High Court gave the widow the permission to sue Gary Griffith. Because Gary Griffith, and I like him, I'm a supporter. So I'm pretty sure he has a reason, but it's still foolishness. This whole legal system just cascading down a path of follies and fuckeries. Uncle G discontinued the disciplinary measures. So now, not the police service, but Uncle G himself is in line to get sued. And he just didn't show up. And it's not the first story that I have said where the police just didn't show up. The one where the police officers allegedly killed 4 people in a car in Caledonia after following them home and executing them. And one of the members pretending to be dead, and he wake up in the morgue and the police try to kill him in the morgue. And now he's scared for his life, and they watch them drag his friend gasping for breath out of the car and fire bullet, boop, boop, and kill him. Those police officers also didn't show up. Meanwhile, with the law-abiding citizens, we get to rejoice because the murder rate to date is only 43. Last year it was 76. So that is almost double. Almost, but not quite. So it's almost a 50% decrease. But our criminals are very organized, so I do hope that they don't have quotas and they're not upset by the shortfall and will be working aggressively to surpass the target by the next quarter. Hopefully not. Speaking of people and whatnot, just the COVID update that just keep going on and on. 159 people have it now. And I'm over it, but I am going to adjust because it's not over me. So I want to get some leather gloves, some sexy gloves, because I can't keep peeling off my skin on my hand from all these sanitizers. I mean, I learned how to fake it like an orgasm, but yeah, just touch the bottle and move it, just like how you just make all the noises. And anyway, but I think I want some gloves. And I'm going to switch my lime into any day. So every lime would be carnival themed. Instead of waiting on the night to come out, just get drunk by noon. Because that's when the bars open now. So it's just about adapting. And as I adapt, first I wanted people to talk about life after COVID. I wanted to hear about a plan. I guess the plan came, I don't really particularly like it, but it's there. It's happening. The vaccines and so forth. But I can't help but look at things and wonder how other people prepare for other things. Simple things. Like I saw that you need a degree to do business administrative work. The cost of the degree is $100,000. So, I mean, I do have a degree in business admin, but administrative is usually just paperwork. What happens is that the reason why my business activity is on pause right now? Because I didn't know how to do the paperwork properly. Who comes up with these things? Why? And if it is I invest $80,000 in learning to do paperwork, no offense to anyone that has this degree. As a matter of fact, I invite you to correct me as to its value. Because if I spent $80,000 to learn how to administrate business, what is the return on that investment? When it is you have to be going to school maybe in the night and you have your job, and not to mention your $100,000 in debt, what is the return on that? $100,000 could get you 4 apartment buildings. It could get you a piece of land, a piece of land in Moruga, and an agricultural development bank loan. It could get you cars on the road. You could start a transportation business. You could open up a funeral home. You could open up a bar. You could open up a speakeasy. Why? You could open up a church. What is the business administrative, and how is that preparing you for life to make money? I don't know. I don't get it. Is as strange to me as the fact that the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago is currently opening up a solar powered gas station. Is uh, is like, I don't know, is like a healthy version of alcohol. It's like if it is your drugs coming with a nutritional value chart. It's like if you hire a prostitute and you say a prayer first. Uh, there's no conflict of interest. When I was working in media as a sales rep, you were not allowed to sell airtime on the radio and do anything else. Insurance, anything that completely unrelated. That's you couldn't go and sell breadfruit. They say is a conflict, and the time you take in to sell breadfruit, you could be so. How is it that you could be selling renewable and fossil energy? Sorry, using renewable energy to sell me fossil energy, and your primary business function, and this is a national gas company. I don't know. I don't. You see, this rant is just things that I said above my level of intellect. I genuinely don't understand. Now, I seem to have misplaced some of my notes, so I'm tempted to conclude at this point. Plus, I didn't talk about the actual tooth extraction, but that's not necessarily a rant. It wasn't as dramatic as you would think. It's just that the full story would be in my 20s, this tooth had given me some trouble. And I just used to pack it with baking soda and move on. So don't do that. Go to the dentist. So now it needed to come out. And I got the worst treatment from the health center, from El Socorro to San Juan to accident and emergency in Mount Hope Dental to the clinics in Mount Hope Dental. That finally climaxed on Thursday when I only reached half an hour late for my appointment after calling to find out if they had everything, because the last time they made me wait for 8 hours and then said, oopsie, we're not ready. And the little woman would look to watch me and say, you ain't see your appointment, what's up? I said. So I thought that she was paying my bills, because I'm no stranger to a woman paying my bills. But I realized she wasn't. So I asked her exactly what is her problem. So after we got through that discourse, I was ushered in to do the surgery, the extraction. And it's not something for men. As a woman, you all could do this easy peasy. As a man, we not built for pain at all. And it wasn't even painful, it's just a lack of control. and somebody digging up in your face and you're feeling things moving. Oh Lord, it was uncomfortable. I had my foot up in the air. But at that point, the nurses and doctors were really pleasant and really kind. Right? But they did stop when my foot went up in the air. It's like, Mr. Johnson, hi, hello. So you need you to put your foot down. Yes. And it's almost over. Unfortunately, they gave me a third injection to calm myself, which it did. That's basically it. We just in recovery. Had to chew a gauze for a little bit. None of the vices that I like, including sexual for that matter. There's no sucking at all. No sucking of a straw, a cigarette, anything else for that matter. And we're just in recovery. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. So, since it seems that I don't know what kind of notes I wrote. I know I wrote notes. I think that this might be the end of Richard Rants for today. I don't understand what kind of movie is this. There's one book I just write everything in, and it just look like one. There's only one more page, but like that back page, I didn't rip it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that will constitute tomorrow's rant. I do thank you for listening. Thank you for the support, and I do hope that it adds something special to your day. The vibe is a little bit different today. You can give me the feedback. Let me know if you appreciate this. So that as we move towards building something together, remember, just be kind to each other and just do the best that you can do. Nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Just do the best that you can do.